Hello everybody and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John and welcome to a review from my car. And today I'm going to be reviewing Screamscapes, Tales of Terror by Evans Light. And this is a collection of short stories and it was sent to me by the author or by the publisher. I don't remember which. I believe it was by the publisher, Corpus Press, in exchange for an honest review. So I'm going to read the synopsis and then I'll give you my thoughts on it. Razor-sharp scares and mayhem lurk within these insanely horrific tales of possession, obsession, deception, and revenge. This is one collection of short stories you won't want to miss. Stay a while. Scare yourself. You deserve it. And that's it. That's the synopsis. So it doesn't really tell you a whole lot about the book. All right, so I'm going to read a few of the blurbs on this, and then I'll jump into my thoughts. Implacable juggernaut style of horror, the best there is, says Mallory Hart Reviews. Unique, imaginative, and intriguing, says Jason Parent, author of What Hides Within. Virtually impossible to stop reading, says Mel Kanauki Reviews. I probably butchered Mr. Kanauki's last name. I apologize for that if he's watching. So, like I said, there's not a lot that the synopsis really tells you about these stories. So, one thing you can look at is the cover. And if you look at the cover, you see this old TV set. I mean, this is the type of TV set you don't see anymore. It's not mounted on a wall. It's not scaled, so thin that you can, if you turn it sideways, you can't see it or anything like that. And inside that TV, you have this very odd-looking image of this eye and what appears to be, instead of eyelashes, a set of fingers in place of the eyelashes. So, to me, what this tells me is that there's a very Twilight Zone-ish, Outer Limits-esque style to these stories. And you'll have to excuse me, I'm actually holding the phone up with one hand, because I don't have a good way to set this down, set up my phone here. So it's those type of stories. They are stories that they're not so much horror, but they're more stories along the lines of Twilight Zone, Outer Limits. They have a twist to them. Most of them do. Or most of them just have that feel of that type of TV series, of those type of stories. Something like stories like maybe Richard Matheson, maybe Robert Bloch might have written, maybe possibly Ray Bradbury. I know the author in here, he is a big fan of Joe R. Lansdale. He actually does write a story that is kind of an homage to Lansdale. So, but anyway, let me name some of the stories. And let's see. You have Whatever Possessed You, Gertrude, Arboretum, and now that is a very strange novella about a group of settlers, a group of that's traveling, and it's got a lot to do with the whole thing with Roanoke and Croatoan, but it's a very strange tale about killer apples. And I know that sounds so ridiculous, but it works. It actually works. And it's a pretty gruesome and pretty bloody tale. Let's see. Curtains for Love is a ghost story, and it's actually a very sad ghost story about a young man who buys a house from this elderly couple, and it's the house that he lived next door to. It's a big house, and he had this friend named Sophie, and Sophie dies. And I don't want to give away too much about the story because, like I said, it's actually a sad little ghost story. Black Door is about a trip to a summer camp that takes a very odd left turn, and it's quite an entertaining tale. But to me, the best story in the book is one called Crawl Space. And, the old saying, saving the best for last. Well, he doesn't do that. Crawl Space is actually the first story in the book. And I will say this much, if you are claustrophobic, if you have any kind of a claustrophobia, suffer from it, you're afraid of enclosed spaces or whatever, this is not the story for you. But if you do like stories like this, then this is definitely the story for you. The best way to put it is this is about a cheating husband who he gets what he deserves. You know, I don't want to give away too much. I will say this much, though. The ending to this story is so ambiguous. It leaves it so open for interpretation, and I think that is the perfect way to go with a story like this. Instead of it being, you know, I'm getting revenge on you, so now you're going to get revenge on me kind of thing, they leave it very open. Or the author, Evans Light, he leaves it very open to your interpretation, and I love that. So yeah, that's it. This isn't going to be a big long review or anything. This is, you know, but I will say this much: I give it 4 stars out of 5. I mean, none of the stories in this were boring. Probably my least favorite it was The Mole People Beneath the City. I've never been a fan of the whole mole people thing or the whole underground dwellers and things like that. Now, I did love The Descent, but I'm talking about like Chud, you know, that one, cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. I was never a fan of those type of stories, so I really am not a fan of this particular story here. I will say this much: it's very well written. It's just not the story for me, so that's why I'm giving this a 4-star rating. So yeah, that is it. I'm gonna hold it up one more time. Anyway, this is it. Screamscapes, Tales of Terror by Evans Light. I definitely recommend this one. And that's going to do it. Thank you for watching, and happy 4th of July. Bye.